Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Silver Bulletin Postgame Highlight Show presented by Lantern TV. I'm your sports director, Brian Nelson, and now let's take a look at some of the highlights from today's game.
Starting things off, we have Jeff Okuda's first interception of the night on Nebraska's first drive of the game. And then this interception led to a 15-yard touchdown run by Justin Fields to put Ohio State up by 7. Ohio State's next drive featured a series of nice running plays. First, we have J.K. Dobbins for a 13-yard run, and then Justin Fields keeps it for himself and gets a nice 14-yard run to set Ohio State up for a nice score. And here is the scoring play. Justin Fields with the pass to K.J. Hill, and he's in for the score. Later on, here's a long completion from Justin Fields to Austin Mack for 38 yards. Moving forward in the drive, Fields has another nice throw, this time to K.J. Hill for 14 yards. Back to the defensive side of things, we have Jordan Fuller's interception, the third turnover of the game for Nebraska. And then Nebraska's following drive ended due to a nice sack by Malik Harrison. Three plays later, Master Teague has a nice run for 26 yards to set up a Buckeye touchdown. And next drive for Ohio State, J.K. Dobbins continues his strong night with another run, this time for 24 yards. And then finally, we have Justin Fields hitting Chris Olave for the score.
And we are back. Ohio State just finished with a dominating win over Nebraska, 48-7. And Griffin, I think everyone's mind is just turning into the defense and the turnovers they created with all those interceptions by Okuda and Jordan Fuller. What were your thoughts on how they played tonight?
Yeah, so just on the second throw of Adrian Martinez's night, it was already a pick by Jeff Okuda. He threw it to number one in white and red, but not the right team that he wanted. It went straight to Jeff Okuda. Then you saw just a little bit later in the quarter, Jeff Okuda made a pick laying on his back as well. That one kind of fell in his lap, and suddenly you go from a guy that has 0 picks, and everyone's like, where's that on his resume? To suddenly he's got 3.
And even just like taking aside the picks, the secondary and Ohio State's defense just did a great job of neutralizing the passing game for Nebraska. I think Adrian Martinez was limited to 47 yards passing. Like, what did you think of just like the way the discipline they showed in limiting one side of Nebraska's offense?
Yeah, I think a lot of people were excited to see what Wan'Dale Robinson and J.D. Spielman could do against this defense with those playmakers on the outside. And what you saw today was pretty much nothing. The defense really clamped down those playmakers, and Adrian Martinez couldn't get anything going all night. I mean, he got a little bit of running room, some wiggle room there, but other than that, he really didn't have an impact on the game.
Now, Andy, I just want to turn to you, kind of talk more about the offense and kind of the running game and how effective Ohio State was tonight with J.K. Dobbins, Master Teague, even Fields getting on the action. What did you think of the way they played?
I was really impressed with the consistency of the run game, the ability to pick up seemingly every other play went for 8, 10, 15, 20 yards. Dobbins finished averaging 7.4 yards per carry on 24 carries, never had a run longer than 26. That tells you every time it's constantly 8, 9, 10 yards. And that's a really good sign for the offensive line, who played an outstanding game tonight. And they did it with, as you said, Dobbins, Teague. We saw some runs with Fields we hadn't seen before, that Q keep on 3rd and 10 that put Ohio State in a goal-to-go situation. Lot to love about this Ohio State rushing attack today.
And I also want to get your take kind of on the way Justin Fields played, more in the passing game and the discipline he showed in some of his touchdown passes.
Right. Fields, this is his first test in a big road environment. It was loud. He handled it well. You saw him getting to the line, communicating his protections, getting the snap off in time. Ohio State never had a full start or delay of game penalty in this kind of crowd. That's insane. And now 5 games into his career as a starting quarterback has yet to throw an interception. His decision making, I think we talked about Fields, the physical player entering the season, how physically gifted he was, how he could sling the rock, how he could run. We are now seeing he's got the mental side of the quarterbacking game down too.
All right. Well, I do believe that's all we have time for today. Be sure to tune in next week as we'll have more episodes of the Lantern Film Room, the best damn pod in the land, and our pregame show for the upcoming game against Michigan State. From Andy Anders and Griffin Strom, I'm Brian Nelson, and this has been the Silver Bulletin.